You may have heard a lot about 529 plans in the news recently and wondered, what are they and how are they changing? 529 plans were created under the Small Business Job Protection Act of 1996. They were originally designed to be tax-advantaged savings plans to incentivize saving for future college costs. These plans allow a person to grow his or her savings on behalf of a beneficiary, which may include a child, grandchild, a spouse, a non-relative, or even the person establishing the account. Nearly all 50 states, plus DC, sponsor at least one of the two types of 529 plans: prepaid tuition plans and college savings plans. Prepaid tuition plans allow for the purchase of units or credits at participating colleges and universities for future tuition and fees for the beneficiary of the plan. These plans cannot typically be used to pay for room and board expenses. College savings plans are investment accounts that can be used to pay for future qualified higher education expenses, including tuition, fees, and room and board. The account funds can generally be used at any college or university. A signature benefit of this type of plan is that if funds are used for qualified higher education expenses, the earnings gained on the investment funds are not subject to federal income tax. For example, if a parent deposits $2,000 into an account for a child at their birth, and the account grows and is worth $4,500 when the parent decides to use the funds for their child's qualified education expenses, there would be no federal tax on the $2,500 earned. Individuals in more than 30 states can also receive a state tax deduction or credits for their contribution to a 529 plan. Recent changes in policy expanded the way that funds in 529 plans can be used. In late 2017, Congress passed and the President signed into law the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which expanded qualified expenses in 529 savings plans to include public or private elementary and secondary school tuition up to $10,000 annually. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act did not revise prepaid tuition plans. A central benefit of 529 plans is the tax-free compounding of interest on the account funds. As some in education policy circles have pointed out, using the funds earlier in a child's education would allow for less time for compounding to occur. This would result in less benefit and growth of the funds over the long term. There is certainly room for continued improvement in this policy. More can and should be done to expand access and create educational opportunity for all students, especially low-income families who may not have the financial capacity to engage with 529 plans. For more information on education choice, see other videos on the Opportunity Learning Hub.